When I was working on this video, Sony announced the removal of Concord, a new game that had been out for less than 2 weeks. What shocked me was that Sony had invested $205 million and spent 8 years developing it, a definite free game. However, because it was filled with LGBTQ elements and had mediocre gameplay, it struggled to gain players' favor. Even though it was a bigger production from a major company, players used their wallets to make their choices. On the other hand, after the release of Myth Wukong, its high-quality production was recognized by gamers worldwide, and its impressive performance made all doubts seem insignificant. At the same time, I noticed that Myth Wukong has seemingly become a weapon in some kind of ideology battle. When I made a video explaining the IGN article, I received many comments along the lines of "Thank you for speaking up for those who are afraid of cancel culture." But I wanted to clarify that I don't want to participate in this game of labels. I'm not speaking up for anyone, not because I'm afraid of anything, but because I never believed that the concepts like DEI, woke culture, and so on are inherently bad. But as like Reinhold Niebuhr said in his book, any pure justice will quickly degenerate into something less just. I think the core issue has always been that some people use these concepts to gain personal benefit or weaponize them to attack their opponents for more power. I want to comment on this behavior, but the result is that those who truly need help are ignored, and the real perpetrator hide in the chaos, escaping punishment. Meanwhile, if you don't buy into mediocre works that randomly incorporate correct elements or criticize the content, you will be labeled as discriminatory and even attacked. On the other hand, genuinely thoughtful good works for minority groups may also be ignored or even attacked as a result. But weapons have no inherent side. Today, you might use them to attack your enemies, but your enemies can also use them to attack you, making it an endless and meaningless struggle. I hope you understand that marginalized groups are not defined by skin color, race, sexual orientation, age, or gender. Oppressors are either. I believe most of you have, in one way or another, experienced oppression from those considered minorities. But all of this isn't what I wanted to discuss today, as it's far too complicated and perhaps too sensitive for me. I'm just a game nerd and a self-English learner. This was impossible for me to explain clearly. I just wanted to share some thoughts and lessons I've learned as a gamer, viewer, consumer, and creator after witnessing this series of confrontation in the gaming industry. This is why I believe that diversity is killing diversity. Hello, 大家好 welcome to my channel, Marginalized, a self-English learner from China. As my second language, I can't use it properly sometimes. I talk about my perspective on something in English for practice, and it might not be entirely right. If I make any mistakes, sorry in advance, and please correct me. I really appreciate your help. I hope we can discuss this calmly, as I can only see what's in front of me from my own position and education. I'm very willing to listen to your story and ideas. To be honest, as a Chinese person before 2016, I had no such concept of racial discrimination, racism, gender conflict, DEI, or anything like that. The disputes between regions in China were mostly limited to trivial matters like whether people in the south eat sweet zongzi, while those in the north eat salty ones. There's some regional discrimination, but it never escalates to life or death conflicts, mostly just jokes when people were bored. What opened my eyes to these topics was around 2016 when I watched a movie called Moonlight. I was absolutely captivated by it, watching it over and over again more than 10 times maybe. In simple terms, it's about a gay black boy growing up confused and lost in his community. His experiences were completely different from mine, as if we lived in two entirely different worlds. Yet I deeply understood the pain and struggle he faced, as it was a very human experience. Societal pressure, suppression of one's desire, the love and hurt from a troubled family. The film resonated with me profoundly, as I knew that while our experiences different, our emotions were universal. At the time, I didn't think about his race or sexual orientation. I was just drawn to how well the film expressed human emotions. It led me to watch the Oscar for the first time, where Moonlight won Best Picture. Albeit after an embarrassing mix-up in announcing the winner, I was genuinely happy for the film. However, what struck me was the reaction from people around me. None of them had seen the film, nor had they heard of it before. Yet when they saw that it was a movie about a black gay man, they immediately dismissed it, saying it only won the award because of PC. That was the first time I encountered this term. I didn't understand it back then, but I noticed that people would automatically look down on anything associated with it, without bothering to understand the work further. I felt frustrated and angry at their shallow judgment. But instead of arguing with them, I decided to research what PC really was. At first, I was confused. It didn't seem like a bad thing at all, but later I started to sense that some people were injecting character elements into works, often in a shallow and surface level way. This kind of superficial diversity even became unquestionable. Take the recent Little Mermaid remake, for example. I'm not criticizing the actress. She is very talented, and it's not that black people can't portray mermaids. I want to be a mermaid too. But Disney and the creators clearly took the lazy route. They simply swapped the race of an already established character without considering the world building or context. Anyone with a basic grasp of history knows what was really happening when people were wearing the types of clothes depicted in the film. Sorry for that, but it's really hard to ignore the awkwardness. Disney has the resources and the creativity to write a new story with a mermaid character from a specific race or culture. They have done it successfully with other stories, so why not here? It's just so baffling. And while I don't want to criticize appearances, it's hard not to wonder if they deliberately made the heroine look not that good looking compared to the villain. It's not only me, but Chinese netizens share this view as well. And you might call it racism, but as a Chinese person, I understand too well the power of ugly portrayals. Chinese people have been depicted negatively for over a century, with small and slanted eyes, triangular heads, and cunning evil looks. Even though they might not show it as clear behavior or say specific words anymore, it's hard to get rid of the bias and the negative views they hold about the Chinese people or other races. This is the stereotype that persists, and it has really consequences. The impact is that no one is interested in understanding the true experiences and the struggles of this group. The same goes for other minority groups and the so-called diversity in media. Superficial diversity is destroying the image of these groups. But we can still find many great examples of diversity done right, like Brokeback Mountain, Moonlight, Hancock, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, Disney's Big Hero 6, games like Baldur's Gate, Street Fighter 6, and even the Book of Mormon, which I wanted to watch in the UK twice. I cry every time I hear Nabalungi singing. There are stories featuring diverse characters, but they succeed because of the strong storytelling, well-crafted characters, and the universal human emotions they explore. They made me forget the character's race orientation, focusing instead on love, friendship, and the struggles that unite us all. What I don't understand is, have companies really stopped caring about making money in the name of being correct? Or are their production standards declining? Or have DEI groups really gained so much power that they can influence decisions at major corporations like Sony? I've already learned how companies like Sweet Baby work, but I'm still confused. Can someone explain? I also wanted to mention another phenomenon, fujoshi. I've talked about it in my previous videos. In short, there are fans who enjoy making male characters together. This extends into various fan-created works where fans reimagine characters in different ways. Here's a picture I once drew of Naruto and Sasuke. I'm a hardcore fujoshi myself, but if Naruto creator Masashi Kishimoto actually made Naruto and Sasuke a couple in the official storyline, I'd be the first to criticize him and abandon the work. If creators start basing their decision on fan preferences rather than their own creative vision, believing that fans only want this kind of content, then I can only say good luck to them. In conclusion, I hope creators can focus more on the essence of their work rather than trying to chase after social trends. You can never depict tomorrow's public opinion or what the next mainstream ideology will be. Otherwise, you risk ending up like Concord, a game made with DEI in mind during the rise of these ideas, but released at a time when it backfired, leading to it being taken down just 2 weeks after its release, becoming another costly joke in the game industry. I believe that universal human emotions are timeless themes. I also hope that genuinely well-made works that speak for minority groups can be recognized instead of getting buried in the chaos. If you know of any such works, feel free to leave a comment and let me know. That's about all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope I didn't say anything wrong. If I made any mistakes that confused you, please correct me. And I'm also looking forward to you leaving a comment about this phenomenon. Help me understand the situation further and also help me to improve this channel. I really appreciate it. So until next time, stay safe, stay positive, and peace. 再见，拜拜。